If you listen to the last episode about the benefits of accountability, I mentioned that I would do the flip side. And so today I'm going to talk about the bad side of accountability and what you should avoid. Hello, lovely dynamic women, and welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I'm Diane Rolston, your host. And yes, I listened to you. You said, what's the downside of accountability? What could it be other than like maybe just not wanting to do the stuff that people are making you accountable for? So I'm going to give you the 5 things around negative accountability that you should avoid. And I'll throw in some stories as along the way as well. Let me kick things off with, if you didn't know, I play soccer. I play in a 30-something soccer league in North Vancouver, BC. It is filled with some ex-competitive players like myself and newbies, people who have never played before. And in our league, not every team has a coach. We have a coach. We like having a coach for trainings, warm-ups, deciding who's on and not. And a little bit, I like the coach for the accountability, right? So, oh, Diane, like, why did you do that? And let's do this. And really talking me through to help me be a better player based on what's happening. Also accountability for, you're not showing up on time, you don't get to start, right? These sort of things. I love that part of accountability with having a coach. It helps us to step up into a better place, more peak performance and such. I'm not going to go through them all. They're in the last episode. I encourage you to check it out. But after our game, as we're sitting around having a little social time with the team, there is a very high level competitive league that was playing right after us. Girls, maybe 10, 12, around that age, maybe a little older. And they were playing very serious. They videotaped the games so that they can go through the games after. And I remember that from varsity rugby when I played for Western. We didn't have video at this big pole thing that they do, high def videoing, very different. But we used to do stats, and the stats were on how many balls did you catch, how many balls did you drop, how many tackles did you came at, people you had to tackle, and how many of those did you make and how many didn't you make, how many poor decisions happened, and even to the way of the standoff, are they calling the right plays? And is the ball making it through? So all of these things, along with my kicking for posts, everything was tracked so that the coach could look at that and then make an accountability plan for everyone, right? And so I'm watching this game with these girls, and I know that there's going to be mega accountability after the game from watching the tape. And also they said something like you can zoom in or like tell the video to specifically look at one player, and it will track that player in the game. So pretty crazy. So that's high level accountability. And that's great because that's going to help them to be better players, to learn from their mistakes and all those amazing things around accountability. But what I heard was one team, they had a coaching group of coaches, 2 or 3 of them, and they were yelling. Lots of yelling. Lots and lots of yelling. Go here, do this, don't do that. And sometimes, sadly, it was conflicting. And so that made me also think about accountability. Coaching has to be the right coaching and the right accountability. So let me go through these 5 today. I want you to think about times in your life where you've had the wrong accountability. Obviously, no accountability at all isn't good. I have accountability through coaches for so many of the things I do. As you know, my journey with my health and losing weight, I had a coach, and key part of their job was accountability. And I have now a comedy coach that's helping me develop some either sets for comedy shows, stand-up that I've been doing, and as well as putting it in keynotes. And so I have deadlines when I have to have things done for them, right? And that's all wonderful. So let's look at these 5 things, and I want you to think, is this good, or is there some negative accountability in your life? And just side note, I don't want to forget to tell you that She's Gold 2.0 is open. It is a speed course to reach your goals. And every 30 days, every month, we have a new set of goals and weekly check-ins, which help with accountability, but there's also mastermind power with a supportive group of like-minded top achievers. There's also the coaching support from me and the strategy that you get. There are goal sister calls where you connect with another girl, another woman in the group and have that accountability. And then at the end of the month, we look back and we're like, what did we learn? What's amazing? What do we need to do different next time? And what opportunities are available moving forward? And so it is accountability is a big part of it, but it's done in a positive way. So doors are open for that. Close May 16th, 2024. So I hope you'll join. Hope you'll join that program. Okay, let's go through the 5. Number 1, stress buffet. So think of accountability as that like overzealous diet everyone thinks is going to make them healthier, but it's not, because it ends up stressing you out, because when you in your life, you don't know what to do, right? So if we have too much accountability, then your workplace, your day-to-day life is going to feel like you're in a pressure cooker, right? There's no room for error. Everything is down to the T. And then what's a pressure cooker do when it gets too much stress? It blows up. Imagine a geyser blowing. We actually had on the ceiling of our kitchen, like soup that had gone right up into the ceiling and like pink splotchy marks. And if you didn't know, and you're listening to the podcast version of this, this is also on YouTube. And so if you prefer to watch me talk and move my arms around, then and see my crazy facial expressions, then I would love to meet you over at the Diane Rolston YouTube channel. So we don't want to have stress from too much accountability. You know, there's that nice place of my clients saying, oh, I just got everything done last night because I knew I was meeting you today. There's that place. And then there's the place of, I was really sick, but I still did what I had to do, even though I was in the hospital, because I knew I had to do it, right? There's like no room for error. And we don't want you to be super stressed with accountability, but we want there to be enough stress that it pushes you to do something that maybe you wouldn't normally do. So with soccer, as I talked about the high performance piece last episode, I do more because I have a coach, or I do more because I have accountability. And so there's that nice amount that pushes you and stretches you a little bit. Really, you just want to be 1% better every single day. So we don't want, though, the accountability to be turned up so high that you feel too much pressure and you're stressed out. The next negative around too much or the wrong accountability is it can become a confidence killer. So when there's that like obsession with following the rules, it can kill your confidence, because when you're thinking, okay, this has to be, and this has to be, and this has to be this way, and this has to be this way, and somebody's breathing down your neck, accountability can actually turn negative. And then you're so doubting yourself because it's so strict that you lose the confidence that naturally would be, intuitive to you and in your skills and in your talents. So we don't want there to be too much in following the rules, because that will kill your confidence. What I like to do with my clients is, if they feel like they're not going to meet their target, that actually, let me go through it. So if their homework is not going to get done, what I'd love is that they send me an email and they say, hey, Di, this homework not going to get done because these other opportunities came up and I had to put them first. And so this actually is a better idea. And so I'm not going to do that homework. I'm going to do this instead to reach the same goal. Perfect. Okay, cool. Good plan. That's what I want to hear. Or, hey, Di, I know I said that I would contact 20 people by our next session, but I'm probably only going to be able to contact 10 people because I realize that it takes too much time, or so much time, or I only have 10 people I can contact. I actually don't have 20. So giving the reasons, but saying what you will do. Or maybe the date is the wrong thing. And so it was 20 people and it was by next session. You're like, I can do 20 people, but I'll need a few more days after the next session to make it happen. So rather than not being able to make your own decisions because of that over control, You get to step back into your confidence by fixing how maybe the accountability wasn't going to get you towards your goal in that time. Third, creativity crusher. When things are micromanaged too much, it can really squash your creativity, pretty much like a flat pancake, right? So if there's too much rigidity, I thought I would have trouble with that word, rigidity, you'll become scared to make a move. And we don't want you to be scared to make a move because you're trying to like do things only with the permission that you have, which means you can say goodbye to some of those out of the box ideas, maybe a wild idea, maybe a 2 a.m. wake up idea, or driving in the car, your kid to soccer, or for you to do a late night coffee run. We want you to have the creativity. Accountability is to help you to reach your goals. And so creativity might mean that you can reach your goals faster than you would have thought starting. So with that, it kind of comes back to what I was sharing last time in accountability. It's if you see a better option to reach your goal, then ditch the normal way that you were going to do it. For example, my plan to write my book was me at a computer writing a book. And then based on some circumstances, I realized, that's good. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to create a 5-week course and I'm going to train people. I'm going to teach people the content, and then that's going to become the book. And so by having that creativity opportunity, I was able to think outside of the box to write my book. Let's go to number 4, short-sighted goggles. Do you ever feel like if you have glasses or contacts, I wear contacts, I feel like I can't see far. And recently I was realizing I can't really read the pill bottles. That's making me feel old. And I'm having trouble reading. Like I wanted to commit to reading my Bible 4 times a week, but I'm just not loving the pages and the words. They're so small. And so I asked friends if they had one with bigger font in it. And then one of them said, maybe you just need glasses to read, like reading glasses. And I was like, no, I'm good. I needed reading glasses. I put hers on. I could not see the book and the writing and the pill bottles and all of this just because of that. So if you're ever not wearing your glasses, or you can imagine wearing like dirty sunglasses and you can't see. So if you have the short-sighted goggles on around accountability, you're so focused on hitting the next target. It's like you're wearing binoculars backwards because you're just like, okay, I got to nail this school tomorrow, and then this school the next day, and then this school, and then this school. So you're seeing everything really close, but you can't see very far. So with like too much accountability, you're not going to be in that long-term big picture ever. Now, your coach should be looking at what we call in CTI coaching, the big A agenda, right? They're seeing the big picture for you. And the accountability, good part of accountability is you get to be in the little A agenda, the little pieces, the day-to-day, but your accountability is going to help you to also see the big vision. So that if you're staying in the short-sighted goggles, you're going to come up to a problem and you're going to be like, I'm stuck and I can't do this and this, and they're going to go, hey, remember what the big goal is. Remember, this is only a blip on the way there. Hey, remember the last thing you did? You were able to get past that because of this. So let's keep going. And they're going to be able to help you. But if you have the wrong accountability, they're going to be so set on this next piece that you're going to lose out and you're not going to enjoy it. And the last one, number 5, we're calling this one Scaredy Cats. If you are in a high accountability zone, that the person that's holding you accountable is extremely military about it, the fear of messing up can actually turn you into like a nervous cat in a dog park. So can you imagine that? A cat in a park of dogs, right? You're on edge, your back's up, you're like claws in the ground, and you're like, where is the next crazy dog coming from? Or where is the next thing I need to avoid? And that is not a place to be functioning. So you don't want to be in that place of, I want to avoid the next problem, the next obstacle. Instead, you want to be able to look at the opportunities, jump on them, and then learn from mistakes, right? So you shouldn't get yelled at. You shouldn't get someone belittling you with accountability if you make a mistake or if you don't meet a target. You should have someone that can nurture you along so you're not scared of the process and you have that ability to, I guess we can go back to the point number 4. You can see the big picture and you can learn from any mistakes you've had without that kind of fight or flight cortisol hike that can happen out of fear. And so I'm guessing, if we go back to my soccer story, I used to be, well, I'll go to rugby first, varsity rugby. I used to be a little bit nervous with my coach. um, there was some heavy accountability there. But once I got to know her more as a person and she started to open up to me and give me positive reinforcement, tell me what I'm good at, not just the things I'm not good at, right? Not being a confidence killer. That really helped to nurture me, that encouragement from accountability. And so when I look at those soccer girls, I think, how much of their confidence is being killed? How much of their creativity to try something new, maybe a move that they saw on TV from a professional? How much stress do they have that they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do. Like the ball is being passed to me, but this coach is saying this and this one's this, and I have to do suicides if I mess up. So how much stress are they under? Or even on the field as they're hearing the yelling, how scared are they of these adults yelling at them? So I know that the soccer field and being a young girl is very different from your life, but there's so many similarities. And I'm sure you can think of a time when you felt that way, even if you never played soccer or never played high level, never had a sports coach. You can imagine a time in your life when that's been the case. So what I encourage you to do is make sure that you have the good side of accountability, that you avoid these 5 different ways that accountability can be bad when used in the wrong way or when turned up the wrong way, or you hire the wrong accountability coach. Again, She's Gold 2.0 is open. Doors are open. I promise you, these five are not part of the program. There is no stress buffet. There is no confidence killer, no creativity crusher, no short-sighted goggles, and no scaredy cats. It is a very positive learning environment. However, I'm going to hold you to your goals because I want you to achieve more. That's the good side of accountability. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and write us a review. When you do, screenshot it and email it over to team@dianerolston.com with your mailing address so that we can send you a little something special in the mail. Until next time, everyone, stay dynamic. And if you have a topic that you want me to cover, then shoot it over to me at diane@dianerolston.com. Take care, everyone.